You can get really lost in your life and your career, worrying and overthinking about answering the big questions like, should I take this job? Should I quit this job? Or should I change industries? But what if you always knew what life you wanted to live and which direction you wanted to go in? It might make answering some of these questions a bit easier. Bill and Dave, the authors of this book, Designing Your Life, talk us through how we can figure out where we want to go in life by answering big questions like, what is my purpose and what is work for? By the end of this video, we're going to be able to reframe the dysfunctional belief, which is I should know exactly where I'm going, to I won't always know where I'm going, but I can always know whether I'm going in the right direction. Yeah, I like to make it super epic, okay? I'll stop, just watch the video. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Tintin, and this is the third video in the series about this book, Designing Your Life. We are going over the tools and techniques needed to know how to build a life and a career that you really love. This process is called life design. So far, we've spoken about what life design is and the idea that to know where we want to go in the future, we have to reflect on where we are at the moment. But now we've done that, we can start thinking about where we want to go in our lives, and we're going to start building our personal compass. It's actually quite simple to do. Bill and Dave just say that you have to write out a work view and a life view. And these might sound a little bit philosophical, but basically, well, they are. And basically, they are just, what is your view of work and why do we work? And then also, what is life for and why do we want to live? Everyone has opinions on these things, and even if you've not articulated it before, it's really good to sit down and think about what you actually care about in your life and how does work relate to the rest of your life. We're just trying to figure out our own answers to the questions like, what gives life meaning? What does money, fame, and achievement have to do with being successful? Why do you want to work? What kind of work is meaningful to you? They're supposed to be difficult to answer, but once you have a clearer idea of what you want in your life, then you can make informed decisions about the future. Once you've written out your work view and your life view, you can then compare them and see where they clash and see where they complement each other. They'll both change a little bit throughout your life as you go through different stages of your life, but it's important to know roughly what they are all the time. In the book, they talk about this person called Parker Palmer, who was an education reformer, and he realized that he was actually living someone else's life. He was really inspired by people like Martin Luther King and Gandhi, and he wanted to continue doing things that they had done. They were great social justice leaders, and he really valued their goals and their ambitions. They inspired him so much that he emulated what they were doing, and he let them guide him. He started speaking and campaigning and doing things similar to them. And what he realized was that he set his direction by their compass. I'm going to say that again. He set his direction by their compass. So he pursued their goals and their dreams. Eventually, he realized he wasn't actually enjoying what he was doing that much. And he realized that he could be inspired by these people, but he didn't have to walk the same path as them exactly. He decided to redesign his life as a writer, and he was still working on similar goals to the ones that Martin Luther King and Gandhi had, but in a way that felt authentic to him. So the aim here is to have a coherency between our work view and our life view, so that who we are, what we believe, and what we're doing are all nicely in alignment, and you value the work that you're doing. For example, if you believe in combating climate change, but you work for a company that produces a large amount of pollution because you get a great salary, then there's going to be a lack of coherency between what you're doing and what you believe, and that is not good. It will chip away at you. But living coherently doesn't always mean living perfectly. It just means being aware that there are trade-offs and compromises that you have to make in your life, and that if you're aware of what you value and what you believe in, then you can make those decisions consciously. But now it's time to build our compass. So we're going to write our work view and our life view. And remember that your work view is not really about what work you want to do. It's more about why you work and what work represents for you and in the world. And it's not about paid things either. It's just about anything that feels like work. So I'm in my bedroom and I'm going to write out my work view and my life view. I made this little template in Notion. So I got these questions from the book. They're all like the suggested questions, and there's a link to this template in the video description if you want to check it out. I'm just going to write out my answers. Cue the epic music. Okay, I'm finished. These exercises are always really difficult and kind of random, but yeah, I just wrote some stuff out and get back to the rest of the video. Once you've written your work view and your life view, Bill and Dave say that we need to integrate them and compare them, because this is where lots of people have moments of realization. We want to answer these three questions. Where do our work view and our life view complement one another? Where do they clash? And does one drive the other? And if so, how? So now you have an understanding of your work view and your life view and how they integrate. You have your compass. This is your true north. This is how you're always going to know right now where you should be going. If you ever stray too far from it, you'll know that something's gone wrong. And it's not that you won't always be aligned with your compass and you won't always be doing exactly the right thing. You might lose your compass. You might forget what you're doing. You might drift for a while. But knowing that you have this technique there means that you can always come back and recalibrate. When there are big decisions in your life, like taking a new job or moving country or whatever it might be, you can always check your compass and see if you're heading in the right direction. It's rare that people are exactly aligned with their compass all the time for extended periods of time. But if you know roughly where it's pointing, then you can try to aim towards it as much as possible. So now we've reframed this dysfunctional belief of I should always know exactly where I'm going to I won't always know where I'm going, but I can always know if I'm going in the right direction. Now you have your compass. We're going to be talking about wayfinding, which is the ancient art of finding your way when you have a general direction, but you don't know where you're going. Thanks for watching, and thanks Bill and Dave. Nice.